let's talk about the three major events from last night. All right. So first was the housemates' first wager task presentation of the season, which they lost. And I'll tell you why they lost. All right. And second was Wannixhandi's very, very emotional moment. Guys, it was so overwhelming. And there were quite a number of things I observed from that moment they shared. It was that deep. It was that deep. Although it sparked some conversation online, but I've got my own reservations about people's opinion about it online. All right, but I will tell you what I observed. It was quite magical, quite deep. I'm going to leave it there, but I'll give you the details in the comment section. All right, and then lastly, there was Chinwe. Chinwe's continuous ranting sessions, or should I say confiding sessions in the people that she's actually created connections with in the house about her rift with her boyfriend Zion. We're going to talk about all of these things on this video, so please make sure you watch to the end. Do not skip out on any part so you do not miss out on anything, okay? And a quick reminder, guys, today's Saturday. You know what happens on here. We're going to be having our Saturday YouTube live by 3 p.m. WAT. Please do not miss out. There is a lot you do not want to miss out on. All right, there's a lot to talk about, and I look forward to engaging your minds today. All right, now quickly, let's dive right into the details of this video, beginning with the wager. Guys, one thing I will never ever understand is why 90% of the time for every new season of the Big Brother Naija show, housemates end up making the same mistakes with regards to their first wager task of the season. Why do they always make the same mistakes? And you know what? You know what's more, I don't know, should I say annoying or confusing? It's the fact that when you listen to the intro videos of these housemates, you will hear some of them saying, oh my God, I've been auditioning for 8 years. I've been auditioning for 5 years. I've been auditioning for 6 years. A lot of them, it's only very few of them in the house at the moment that are first timers that auditioned the first time and got in. The rest of them had been auditioning. I mean, the likes of Chinne, who claims to have been auditioning since 8 years. And then there's another one that has auditioned 4 times, another one 3 times, another one twice. And here's what I'm thinking. If you are that, enthused about the show, you've been auditioning over and over again, at least you should have knowledge of the show to some extent to know that when it comes to the wager task, the presentation alone does not guarantee a win. It doesn't. Time and time again, Big Brother has explained to housemates in different seasons that their rating begins from the moment they begin to prepare for their wager task presentation for the week. That is it. The way they take care of Big Brother's house, the way they abide by the rules of the house, the way they are careful not to break rules unnecessarily or get infringements unnecessarily. The energy and commitment and dedication they put into preparing for the wager for Big Brother. Individual effort is just as very important as collective effort. All of these things, Biggie repeats season in and season out. Not only with the first wager of the season, but with every single wager for every week. But it's quite funny how every season, guys, 99% of the time, housemates lose their wager. And this season's one was so annoying because the things that Biggie mentioned that led to their failure was just very avoidable. I.e., most of the microphone infringements, the fact that Big Brother would summon them to the lounge or, to the arena or to leave the house and go and stay in the garden, the usual housekeeping procedures. And guys, you will see how these housemates drag their feet. It's like their younger sibling is talking to them and they don't actually give an F about whatever their younger sibling is talking about. So they would take their time, according to Big Brother, they would dilly-dally, and then Big Brother will have to start giving them a countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7. Big Brother would count to the point that after Big Brother has finished landing on 1, some of them will still be upstairs, rushing down the stairs before they're able to either make it to the arena or to the garden or to the lounge. And guys, every time, see, in this week alone, all of these disrespect to Big Brother's authority has been happening. And I watch these housemates and it makes me wonder if indeed these housemates are familiar with Big Brother's rules. Because you hear some of their conversations sometimes and you can tell that, okay, most of these people, they actually watch the show. They know what's up with the show. They might not sit down like us and watch it 24/7, but they know what's up with the show. But then, why do they do it? Is it deliberate to lose their wager? Now, another aspect of the wager that led to their failure was the creative process. According to Big Brother, it was so bland, it was so basic, no creativity at all. It just felt like a rushed work, oh, it's our wager, let's just do it. And funny part was, these housemates actually wagered 80%. They staked 80%. And the moment I saw how they received the wager briefing, I think on Monday night, Tuesday, they weren't really doing anything. Wednesday, nothing much. It was actually Thursday that they started putting so much energy into preparing. Yes, their materials arrived, I think, Thursday morning, or was it Wednesday morning? I can't remember at this point, but the actual preparation really started Thursday. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want Biggie to be lenient with these ones. I don't want Biggie to be lenient. Now, I know that Big Brother would give them basic supplies, but Biggie should reduce it. Biggie should reduce it. Because what really pissed me off was after the presentation, after Big Brother had announced that they had lost and they went back into the house, Kelly Ray was talking to all of them, trying to pinpoint some of the things that Big Brother talked about. But his emphasis was solely on the creative process and the fact that he had been telling them that, oh, they needed to work as a collective and they did not listen. Those are the only things he was emphasizing on. These housemates did not necessarily take time to caution themselves about the other things that Big Brother complained about. Chinne tried. She made an attempt, but she did not dig into it. And they were so indifferent about their failure. They were so indifferent about it because for them, oh, we still have food in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, see ya. I need to see a hunger strike in that house. It is needed. A hunger strike, it is needed in that house. They need to fast. They need to fast. I think that would do them a lot of good. And it will also give them a brain reset to understand that, listen, you're not on vacation. You're here to work. I feel like at this point, a lot of these housemates are just very, very relaxed. But aside from them losing their wager, I will say that some of them tried, with their presentation. However, there was almost a slip up with the double K pair. Cassia, whilst talking about what made them unique, that she and her partner, she had mentioned that, oh, our love keeps us. The moment she said our love for each other, the camera just panned straight to the Zinwe pair's facial expression, guys. Chinwe was smiling like, you see, I told you so, I told you so. So they had to be very quick to correcting what they said. Oh, our passion for Easy Entertainment, about our passion for XYZ, blah, 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 blah. Guys, that was a close shave. And I was cracking up over here. But regardless of her slip up, oh my God, Cassia is so creative. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know that the umbrella Cassia was carrying, she actually created it by herself from scratch? Yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm going to stop talking about the wager right now, but go ahead. Let me know what you think about their presentation. Do you think they actually deserved to win or not? All right, go ahead and share. Now, quickly, moving on to the Wannixhandi emotional session. So the twins shared an emotional moment in the garden last night. But first, it began with Ndi. Guys, I had told you all before on one of my videos that one thing I have observed about the personalities of these sisters is that Wani is more outgoing. She's more vocal. She's more, I don't know, she's more out there and quite hyper than her twin sister, Ndi. And last night was proof of that. Yes. Now, we all know that Wani is in a ship with Sean and they've been spending a lot of time together. Now, most of the time, Ndi tries to join them. You know, she tries to be a third wheel in the relationship, but other times it gets awkward, especially during the pool party when Wani and Sean were together most of the time, you know, kissing and touching up and loving up, yes. And then sometimes Wani will go back to her sister, you know. So for two people that are so used to each other's company, that are so used to doing things together to the point that their mannerisms is almost the same, you know. It's like one person is touching here and the other one just, you know, does the same thing impulsively. So guys, these people, it's like their souls are one in different bodies. Yes. So when this one is not around, the other one feels incomplete. The other one feels empty. And that was exactly how Ndi said she was feeling last night. So she was in the garden alone. She was shedding tears, and when he was inside the house, you know, she was talking to Sean at some point. She was consoling Chinwe that was ranting about the fact that, oh, Zion betrayed her, Zion did this, Zion did that, which was just quite exhausting. And then I think moments later, she noticed that her sister was not inside the house. So she went out to the garden to check, and that was where she found Ndi crying. And guys, she tried consoling her sister, but the sister was just crying. Like the tears were just flowing. She was crying harder. The tears were flowing more and more and more. And to be quite honest with you, I couldn't really make out most of the things that she was saying, because you know when someone is crying like a baby and the person is babbling and babbling, that was the case. Ndi, whatever was eating her up was so deep that she was trying to explain herself, but her words were not, you know, coherent. But then, thankfully, I was able to pick up some of the things that she was saying, and it turns out that she felt overwhelmed. She felt lonely because her sister is now deeply involved with Sean. They spend more time together, you know, and sometimes it makes her feel so lonely. And then yesterday, probably because of the pressure of preparing for the wager tax presentation, she said Wani kept on snapping at her a lot of times. And guys, that is one thing I've also noticed about the twins. Wani is very quick to anger. Yes, I told you all about after the pool party that she snapped at Sean. I later found out that it was simply because Sean had not, you know, collected her own portion of the grilled chicken. Yeah. Oh my God. So guys, Ndi had a lot to forget. She needed to forget her emotions, and so she was crying so much. And before we knew it, Wani started crying too. Although, whilst they were crying, you know the thing about Big Brother's house, when there's an action scene, the cameras will just be flicking and flicking and flicking, and then it will settle on, you know, the position where the action is happening. And then sometimes it will zoom in and zoom out to give us different angles, different shots, so that, you know, now people can take pictures and whatever. That was probably what was happening, because it felt like the cameras were a distraction. And so when Ndi was crying, sometimes it's like she hears the sound of the cameras and she would turn and look and remove her eyes. And then Wani, who is consoling her sister, sometimes it seems like the cameras will move again or whatever was going on there, and her eyes will go up to the camera. So, ladies and gentlemen, it now looked like they were crying for attention, like they were crying for just to get camera moments. And that was the perception of some people on social media. Some people were saying that, nah, the crying, the tears are fake, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, I am one of those people that's got a degree in detecting fake emotions displayed on the Big Brother show. But what I saw last night, I do not think for any reason that it was fake. Guys, what I saw last night was so fascinating because these sisters, they had a lot to onboarding. They had a lot to purgate. And there's also the part where, Handi was talking about how she just, the whole experience was becoming overwhelming for her. She just cannot wait for them to finish up and go home. And the sister got really scared because the sister felt like, oh my God, she's having a mental breakdown. So the sister had to continuously hug her and console her, and reassure her that, listen, anytime you feel that way, I am here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here for you. We're here together. We're in this together. I'm not going anywhere. My sister was apologizing, for a snappy attitude towards her. And that one was also complaining that she was feeling the pressure. She was feeling the pressure that there's just so many emotions going on in the house at the moment. People are angry. People are tense, So they had that moment. And as I mentioned before, guys, it was so magical. I found it really fascinating watching these sisters cry together. Sometimes they will cry and then sometimes they will laugh and then sometimes they will cry again and then they'll wipe each other's tears. Guys, see, at that point in time, I started craving to have twins because it felt like they could read each other's mind. They could 100% interpret how the other was feeling. It was that deep. It was that deep. But as much as they were crying, that was beautiful to see. It was beautiful to see the extent of their bond. It was beautiful to see the extent of their friendship. Not just because they are twins, not just because they are sisters, but because there's a special bond between these two. And guys, you could also see that there's a lot of difference between the sister twins and the brother twins. That's the Mbadiwe twins. There's just a lot of differences. That happened, and much later in a conversation with Sean, Wani was saying that they felt much better now that they've cried it out, yes, because they actually felt heavy, they felt overwhelmed before, but after their crying session, it really helped them to unburden their spirit. Anyways, finally, for Chinwe, ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing much to it, other than the fact that Chinwe continued nagging and nagging and nagging. And in my personal observation, I felt like she was enjoying her moment. She was enjoying talking about it, especially to the people that she's made connections with in the house, DJ Flo, and then there was also Wani that went to console her. Because of course, she knew that she was going to be getting camera time out of it. Guys, am I mad about it? No, I'm not mad at it. Because at the end of the day, this is a competition for these housemates. They need to do whatever it takes to create drama, to create content, to keep the viewers guessing, to keep the viewers talking about them. And that was exactly what Chinwe was doing yesterday. Zion, of course, did not give her any attention. The guy was just busy living his life and doing whatever. And then she was saying things like, she's going to forget about him. As a pair, they're going to work together. But as lovers, they are done. They are done. And I must give it to her, though, because during their wager presentation, they were quite mature about it. They were very loving and whatnot on the stage. They did not give people, the inclination that they were at loggerheads with each other, which I felt was quite mature of her. But then afterwards, she intensified the nagging. But anyways, guys, I would love to hear your thoughts about all of these things I have shared on this video. So please go ahead and share in the comment section below. I'll see you guys on another video. Have an amazing day. Bye.